Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you're well, guys. And I hope you can hear me clearly today. Had a little bit of technical issues, guys. Absolutely yesterday. So sorry about that. And I couldn't do the live watch along. Really apologize for that. The Tottenham Hotspur versus PSG game was a great game, to be honest. Well played, Tottenham. But as we know with Tottenham, absolute bottle jobs, didn't they? Bottle jobs. What can we do? Well, you know what? I wanted Tottenham to win. To be fair, I wanted Tottenham to win. I wanted him to win. To be fair, I don't know why, but I felt for them. I wanted to come out on the stream and say, you know what, Tottenham. They're the most. I mean, they've got more European heritage than Arsenal. More European heritage than Arsenal. That's what I wanted to come out and say. But there we go, guys. Guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys could kindly do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. You people, absolutely, you great people, I should say. Absolutely. Now, let's get into the news about Manchester United. Great rumours circulating around the club that Brighton and Hove Albion might be willing to reduce the 112 million fee they slapped on Carlos Baleba's head, of course, as we know. But sources at Brighton are stating that fee that was slapped on Baleba's head is slightly wide of the mark, guys. It's slightly exaggerated. As we said, don't believe everything you hear in the media, of course. That was the number that they played, that was rumored, that has been slapped on Baleba's head. But it's rumored that Baleba could be going for significantly less, guys. Significantly less than the 112 million that was quoted for him. Now, as I've always said, I feel like Man United could do a deal for about 75 to 85 million plus 10 to 15 million in incentives. I feel that could possibly happen. I feel that would be a realistic mark in regards to the market value, etc. But Man United are getting very, very close to this deal, guys. They're getting very close to this deal. And Man United are determined to get this deal over the line. As we heard earlier, a couple of days ago, Ruben Amorim has had a board meeting with representatives of the club, with the board basically, and said that you need to get me Carlos Baleba. I need Carlos Baleba because you know what? If we don't get him, you know, it's going to be a big hole in that midfield. And there's no point having a rebuild if we're not going to fix the biggest problem in the football team. Of course, the goalkeeper's a problem. I know the goalkeeper's a problem. It's a massive problem, of course. But Carlos Baleba would add a vital piece in that jigsaw, guys. And you know what? It will be an exciting time to be a Man United fan. It is a little bit exciting. We got Premier League football coming back, guys. We've got Premier League football coming back. And as a reward for staying patient, guys, I will be doing a watch along for Liverpool against Bournemouth tomorrow on the first opening game of the season. I'm hoping for a Bournemouth win, guys. I'm hoping for a Bournemouth win. But let's forget about that at the end of the day. Baleba, Manchester United is on, guys. It is on. I'm saying that it could quite possibly happen. Anything can happen in football. We know anything can happen in football. We know football's a funny old game. Anything can happen. We've had Mikel holding up a jersey of Man United, you know, and didn't end up signing for the football club at the end of the day. But I'm very confident. I'm very confident. The ranking is going up slightly. It's going about, you know, I'm about 60-40 at the moment in regards to if Baleba is going to sign for Man United, are we going to get it over the line? The fact that everything's gone a little bit quiet is good news because obviously it could be good news because obviously they could be working behind the scenes trying to sort out a deal, iron out a deal with Brighton and Hove Albion. Of course, Baleba is desperate to go to Manchester United. He wants to come to Manchester United, and he's got Lenny Yoro in his ear as well, trying to persuade him to come to Man United. Agent Onana in his ear, trying to persuade him to come to Man United. And I think it's just so important that we get it. It's so important that we get it. Look, you have to spend money sometimes. You have to do it sometimes. How much? I mean, regardless how much it is, you have to buy the best. You have to invest in what you want. If you can't invest in your own project and your own ideas, then what's the point of even being here? You have to invest to get better. We're not anywhere near where we want to be. Of course, we came 15th last season. As we know, we lost the European League final to Tottenham Hotspur, you know, and a weak Tottenham Hotspur as well, you know. So I would say that, yes, we have to invest and we have to make sure that we have to correct the rights from last season and make sure we get as much chance as possible. Ruben Amorim has a leg to stand on. He's not been left out to dry. And he has as the maximum chance to succeed at Man United. Because when you're trying to enter a sword fight with a breadstick, is very difficult. You're not going to win, are you? You're not going to win because, other teams are better than you. And that's the plain fact at the end of the day, isn't it? And last season, there was a number of teams who are better than us. Absolutely. So, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good, guys. Hope we're all blessed, of course. Big up, everyone. Big up, VJ. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Morning, Babibi. We need a goalkeeper. Absolutely, mate. Big up, VJ. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Dembo. What's your thoughts on the Coca-Cola deal? This could be a Baleba money. Exactly, Dembo. A lot of people have been a little bit negative about this, but this is Coca-Cola money is exactly what you said there. It could be money for Carlos Baleba. That's what it could be. It could be money for Carlos Baleba. And this is clever. This is clever. Man United need to make a few commercial deals to get some money in through the door. That's what they need to do. They need to do a few commercial deals, get some money through the door, and you know what? That will pay for Baleba. You have to do that at the end of the day. If you can, you can, And obviously, if you can. Coca-Cola can. Get my little pun there. Absolutely. But you know what I would say is that, look, we're making money. We have to make money to pay for Carlos Baleba. At the moment, Anthony, Garnacho, and Sancho, I mean, God knows what's going on with them at the moment. I mean, it's just, they just don't want to move, We had rumors about Sancho and Besiktas yesterday. Besiktas a little bit wary about the fee that Jadon Sancho will cost, of course, in regards to his wages as well. Obviously, Besiktas are not a massive club, not even a massive club in regards to not even the best club in Istanbul. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, probably the third team in Istanbul behind Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, respectively, of course. But, what I would say is that, look, Man United need to make some money. If they're going to bring in players, they're going to have to make some money. No-ish Sherlock, of course. But here we are. Baleba, Manchester United looks a realistic proposition, guys. It looks realistic. A couple of weeks ago, if you told me Man United are going to sign Baleba, I would have thought you're barking mad. We've already signed Cunha and Mbumo and Sesko. I would have thought you're mad. But it does look like Man United could possibly do that deal by the 1st of September. And if the worst happens, if we don't get Baleba, I hope that we get a goalkeeper. At the moment, what it looks like in regards to the goalkeeper situation, it just doesn't look like Man United are going to sign a goalkeeper. I don't think we're going to make it in time for the goalkeeper situation. We are dragging transfers out significantly longer. We just started with this Baleba situation in regards to, trying to inquire, trying to get a price, preparing a bid. We haven't even put in a bid yet. Guys. And you know what? This is the thing. How can we concentrate on a goalkeeper when we haven't even put in a bid for our main target? And this is what I'm saying exactly. Big up, Randall. What's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Morning, Sal. I just hope that we sign a new goalkeeper. It's going to be difficult, my friend. It's going to be difficult, but you never know, of course. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. United Giants FC. How you doing? Morning. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, of course. Hotspurs. What's that? Absolutely, Hotspurs. Look, I give Tottenham their credit yesterday. I give Tottenham their credit. They played extremely well yesterday. And this feeds into the narrative about the Champions League final. Inter Milan didn't turn up. And that's what I would say about that. Absolutely. Big up, Benny. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And good morning, the legend Tybog. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Of course, Natty. Good to see you, mate. Home. Good morning, Sal. The biggest bottle jobs is top Spurs. Look, what I would say, guys, and I know you probably think, nah, Sal, you're talking absolutely rubbish. What I would say is this, right? I would say that Manchester United would have beaten PSG yesterday. Oh, my goodness me. I think if Man United were playing yesterday, they would have beaten PSG. Man United have a good record against PSG. I love playing PSG. We beat them all the time. Apart from maybe one time, we beat them. We beat them all the time. I love playing PSG. Are we the only English club who can beat PSG? What's going on here? At the end of the day. But fair play to Qatar ownership again. The Qatar ownership, winning things. It's good, isn't it? It's good when you win things, isn't it? At the end of the day. Natty. Good morning, Sal. The biggest spot. Yeah, I think I read down. Big up, Natty. Sorry, mate. Big up yourself. Big up, Celestine. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Hope everything is blessed. Steve Rebello, good morning. How you doing? Sal, we need Baleba, final place in the jigsaw. I think almost the final place. I think we've got a big not baking, but we've got a big gaping hole in that goalkeeper position in regards to the piece of the jigsaw. We're in searching everywhere for that piece of the jigsaw, and we can't find that piece of the jigsaw. Absolutely. But Steve, look, Man United do need a goalkeeper. I would say that, guys. But if Man United get Baleba, I think we can be content. I think we can be content with what we have. With what we have, I think so. Big up Lee. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to, as keep saying, billionaires can always find money. Exactly, Lee. As we've been talking about for the last many weeks, maybe months, we've been saying, don't worry, man. Ineos have got money. If they ain't got money, they can make money. Commercial deals. You could put sponsorships on anything these days. You could put sponsorships on boots, on shorts, on shirts, on boards, billboards, training facilities, this. Look, you know what? We just built this new training facility. You could put sponsorships on that. You know, you can even rename it if you wanted to rename it. You know, you can do so much. You know, you could put sponsorships on the goalposts. I saw sponsorship on the goalpost. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, you could put sponsorships on the net. You could do anything. You can make money. If you're a massive football club, you can make money. It's very easy to make money as a big football club because everyone wants a piece of the pie, especially a club like Man United, of course. Absolutely. Big up AP7. I wanted them to win because of Arsenal. Me too, AP7. I did want Tottenham to win. Because it does rubber stamp their was it? How would you say it? It rubber stamps them as the better than Arsenal in Europe. And that's what I would say. Absolutely. Natty. So if you have to buy Baleba only or buying cheap midfielder and a goalie, which you choose, I don't think we should ever be going cheap. I think Man United should really concentrate on getting the best. That's what I think. I think we should concentrate on getting the best. That's what I think we should do. We shouldn't be downgrading. Now, look, if it's someone like Adam Wharton, for argument's sake, Adam Wharton, for example, or Kamara from Monaco, someone of that ilk, I think, yeah, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that. But because obviously Adam Wharton wouldn't cost 85, 90. I think it will cost about 70. Man United could probably get him for about 70 if, you know, with incentives and stuff like that. Probably be a little bit less. I don't think Man United should be going too low because then we already got Kobe Mainoo, we already got Ugarte, we got these players who are good players, you know. And if you're going to pay 40, 50 million for a midfielder, is he going to be as good as Ugarte? Is he going to be as good as Kobe Mainoo? Of course, even Casemiro to an extent. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think Man United should be going low, shooting low anyway. But I get your point. But yeah, we do need both. I do think Man United need a goalkeeper. I really do feel that. But hopefully Man United can obliterate teams, sign Baleba, and just completely obliterate teams and beat them 3 or 4-0 every game. We know that's not going to happen. But, you know, if we concentrate more on an attacking side of our game, we might not have to worry too much about Onana. But I would also say this, guys, not many people are mentioning the fact that we're very slow at the build-up, to goal and to our play is very slow. We do give the opposition a chance to reorganize and set themselves. We need to be a little bit more quicker. 1-2. I don't think Maguire's good at it. There's a couple of players are not good at it. I don't think he fits Ruben Amorim's system in regards to getting that ball, quick movements and stuff like that. I don't think he's quick enough. And I think that we need more players like Lenny Yoro, Aiden Heaven, these type of players who are quick. Licha Martinez, very quick, agile, can get around the pitch. Now, when Ruben Amorim was a manager at Sporting Lisbon, he had a defender there. He used to use a big defender in the centre back. He used to use, I've forgotten the name of the defender, but he used to use a big one, a bit like a Maguire, a De Ligt in the centre back. And he realised it didn't work. So he ended up bringing another defender in, a more agile defender that can work in the system, that can bring the ball out forward with pace and quickness. Now, this could quite possibly happen. You know, this could quite possibly happen that Man United might erase the tall, domineering centre-back thing from the 90s and bring in a more agile, skillful player who might be a little bit more less physical, but, you know, more good on the ball and something like that. That happened at Sporting Lisbon, by the way, you know, and I don't know if we're going to do it this summer. Of course, it's a little bit unlikely. Man United are going to do any deals with the defence side of things this summer. I know we had rumours about Upamecano. Of course, I don't think Upamecano is a realistic proposition. I said it at the beginning. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think Man United are going to be paying money for that transfer, to be honest with you. But the thing with Baleba, the great thing about Baleba is that he takes a lot of pressure from that defence. He actually takes the ball from the defence and he actually brings that ball forward. That's what I like about Baleba. He takes charge. You know, he takes initiative to do it himself, you know, and that's what I like about him and bring that ball forward. That's the kind of player that we need. Powerful, domineering, player. You know, we've lacked strength. We lacked physicality in that midfield for a very long time, guys. We've been very lightweight in that midfield. You need to be an absolute animal in that midfield. And I think we've lacked that. I don't think we've had that bite in the midfield. And we always lose the midfield battle. And that's why we end up losing games and not winning games, of course, because it starts from the midfield, doesn't it? You kick off in the middle, you know what I mean? And the middle is the engine of the team. And I think that Man United have a lack of intensity. When the games are kicked off, we're very nice. We're too nice. We're way too nice. We don't get stuck in. We don't get challenges in. You know, we let teams into the game. We let them play and stuff like that. And we really need to get stuck in. Now, I'm not saying get fouls and get a red card and things like that. I'm talking about really stamp your authority down. The crowd have a part to play as well. It's very important, of course. Mickey, good morning. How are you doing? Well, we're getting both Baleba and Wharton. Just a hunch. Mickey, if we do that, I'll absolutely go mad. Mate, if we get Wharton and Baleba, I will shave off my eyebrows. Absolutely. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. That's going to cost around 140 million or something like that. Not good at maths, but that's going to cost around 140 million, somewhere around that mark. I don't think we're gonna do that. If we did that, by the way, anything is possible in football. If we did that, by the way, I would say, well done, Ineos. I would. But at the moment, I'm okay with that. Absolutely. But there's no chance of me shaving off my eyebrows. That's it. You know. Sal, I hear a news we want now Baleba and next year Baleba. Is it true? Now, a couple of weeks ago, Ben Jacobs spoke about Baleba. Man United are interested in Baleba. But Man United realised that the cost of Baleba is going to be astronomical. And this could quite possibly happen that Baleba does sign for Man United next summer. Now, we can't risk that. We can't risk that. I would say that like this. We cannot risk signing Baleba next summer because if next season he absolutely smashes it, you know what, has a better season than last season, then you know the Liverpools and Man Cities of this world they're already interested, by the way. They're already interested, already sniffing around. And as we know with Donnarumma, as soon as a team come in like Man City and Liverpool and teams like that, and Chelsea to an extent, it's going to be problems for Man United and it's going to be harder for Man United to sign him. And we're not even including the likes of Real Madrid and PSG and Barcelona and teams like that, who might be interested in Baleba. We have to remember that as well, So it's very important that Man United get this deal done now because you snooze, you lose. You snooze, you lose. We missed out on a few players already over this last year. We need to make sure we don't miss out on any more, especially a generational player like Baleba, who for me is probably the most, I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, one of the most promising young midfielders in Europe, in my opinion. Good morning, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Draw was done last night. We played Grimsby away. Big up, my friend, Brian. Oh, yes, the draw was done last night. Manchester United will play Grimsby Town. Very grim. We played Grimsby Town away. Nice little fixture there. I haven't played Grimsby in many, many years, guys. A very, very nice little number there. A nice fixture there for Manchester United, of course. Manchester United will play Grimsby. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. Really, really appreciate that. Absolutely, guys. And it is the first time that Man United will be playing in the second round of the League Cup, by the way, since 2014. And we all know what happened in 2014. We lost 4-0 to MK Dons. Hopefully, that is not an omen. That was one of Louis van Gaal's first games, wasn't it, at the end of the day? Thank you, Brian. Let me just write this tweet. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. Randy, big up, everyone. Big up, Randy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you. Of course, Mickey. And next year we go and defense, and then Ruben has his whole team. Exactly, Mickey. And this is the thing. We can't fix everything this summer. We're going to have to maybe wait until next summer. Ruben Amorim even said it himself that there's certain positions that we won't be able to fix. But if we get the spine of the team, when I'm talking about the spine, I'm talking about the striker, the attacking midfielder, the midfielder. and the goalkeeper. That's the spine, yeah, and the one defender. So we probably got a delict there, and the goalkeeper. That is a relatively solid spine, in my opinion. I think Man United need to sort of that spine. The goalkeeper, not having a goalkeeper, it means that we're a little bit, we don't have a spine. We're loose at the back. So, I would have liked us to fix it. I would have liked us to get a goalkeeper in there, but I'm not going to be at too much on them, because if we get Baleba and Bumo, Cunha and Sesko, if you told me at the end of last season we'll have those 4 players, I think, wow, that's not too bad, to be fair. I would have concerns, though. I would still have concerns. I would have said, what about the goalkeeper? Oh, my goodness me. We're still going to have Onana next season. Oh, my goodness me. We're still going to have Dalot next season as a right wing back. Oh, my goodness me. And you know what? I would have said that, of course. Of course. Natty, Sal, I hear the news we want Baleba and next year Wharton. Is it true? Look, people are speaking a lot about what's going to happen next season. Nobody knows what's going to happen next season. Anything can happen next season. Wharton might have an injury next season. Man United are interested in Adam Wharton. Man United are interested in Adam Wharton for a while now. I mean, they are aware of Adam Wharton. I think a lot of teams are aware of Adam Wharton. Chelsea also want Adam Wharton. What I would say is that let's wait and see what happens. But Man United will not sign. I don't think Man United will sign Wharton this summer. Absolutely not, given that we're going to get Baleba. However, if we don't get Baleba, I do think it's not a bad idea for Man United to go and get Wharton. I think that, because I think that will be absolutely similar in regards to the type of players that they are. I mean, Wharton's obviously more of a defensive, pass it around, carrot sort of player. Baleba's more of a domineering, bring that ball forward, number 8 sort of player. Wharton is more of your traditional midfielder who can get that ball, tackle it, and bring it, pass it around, of course. If not Adam Wharton, I like Kamara of Monaco. There's a few players around Europe that I like. Yavi Guerra, of course, for Valencia is another player that I really like, of course, there's lots of players out there, to be fair. There's, absolutely. I just need to look. Tybo, good morning. Considering how many points and money Onana cost us since signing, it's fair to say he is one of the most expensive agents out there. He has cost Man United a lot of money, guys. He's cost Man United a lot of money. Champions League, Europa League, everything like that. He's cost, And to be honest with you, I think that we need to move on from him. But if Man United can't afford it, it can't afford to sell him at the moment. Well, no one else can afford to buy him. Then Man United can't really do much about it. And obviously, Onana wants to fight for his place. He wants to dig his heels in. He wants to try and, look, everyone's going to say, I want to fight for my place. Rasmus Højlund said, I want to fight for my place. But as we know, Rasmus Højlund is close to a move to AC Milan. So at the end of the day, look, if you're pushed at the door, you're gonna have to leave. Especially the fact that the World Cup is coming on very, very soon. Look, I don't want to go into next season. I don't want to go. Look, forget that. I don't want to go on Sunday, right? Sunday, and we're doing very well in the game. We're playing well. I don't want to see a slip up from the goalkeeper. That's one thing I don't want to see, because I'm going to be there, guys. I'm going to be self-righteous. I told you so. This bloody goalkeeper. I told you so. I don't want to be that. I want to be looking at the end of the game and saying, what a game from Onana, by the way. What a save he made there. What a game. And we won the game, 2-1 or 1-0 or something like that. And I think, what a game from Onana, by the way. And that's all I want at the end of the day, absolutely. Good morning, Brian. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Brian Moran, good to see you again, you legend. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Afro Suit, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. It's difficult to trust Onana, but Baleba is the answer because our midfield is wide open no matter what combo you put in. The problem is, Afro Suit, but I don't know what you make of this, but I think that it is very important that we get Baleba. I think that is incredibly important. I do feel, however, Bruno is not his partner. I'm going to say that Bruno should not be his partner. I think it should be Kobe Mainoo. And when it's a Liverpool or Man City, I think it should be a Ugarte. I don't think it should be Bruno as his partner in midfield. I actually think that Bruno destabilizes the midfield. I think he actually affects the midfield and makes the midfield weak. I think Bruno's a world-class number 10, but when you're thinking about the midfield, I don't think he's a world-class midfielder. You could be a world-class defender, right? But as a defensive midfielder, you won't be world-class. You're a good defensive midfielder. For example, do you know what I mean? It doesn't, just because you're world-class in number 10 doesn't mean you're world-class in the number 8 position. And that's what I would say about that. I mean, we're going on like, oh, he's a world-class player, so he can do everything. He can go there, he can play in midfield. He doesn't have the physique. He doesn't have the intelligence in regards to the midfield play and the discipline to play a midfield role. When Paul Scholes was playing that midfield role, it's like eyes at the back of his head, blinkered everywhere, 3 passes ahead. That is what a midfielder should be. An Iniesta, kind of player. 3 passes ahead. With us, we get the ball. Where do I pass it? And you can't be like that in midfield, because by the time you know it, boom, you're going to get tackled. And you know what? You're going to end up conceding a goal. Absolutely. Natty, Sal, what will be a good season for Man United? Top 4, mate. Top 4. Brian, is Onana fit to start? Yes, I think he will be fit, Benny. You know Onana, right? Do you remember the game against Newport County a few years ago? And basically, a couple of years ago, and basically everyone was saying, "Oh, Onana's not fit." Yes, everyone was saying that back then, guys. We said, "Oh, Onana, finally, Bayinder's going to get his chance. Bayinder's going to get his chance." And Bayinder did get his chance, but there was rumors that Onana was flying in from a helicopter and coming down like this, bungee jumping out of a helicopter and things like that. You remember that? And we were saying that 2 years ago. We were even thinking about that then, about Onana and things like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely mad. Denbo, I don't get the negativity around Coca-Cola. I used to drive a wagons for them out of the Wakefield plant many months ago. Big up? No, I don't know, mate. I don't know why, but obviously it's not healthy. Probably why. I don't know. Is using more debt to invest when we already have been in debt, good or bad? Mate, can I be honest with you, mate? As long as they got it under control, I don't really care, because there's always going to be someone there to buy this football club if Ineos cannot pay off the debt. If Ineos want, they can sell their shares and they can pay off their debt. They can do that, absolutely. But I care what happens on the football pitch. That's what I care about. I care what we do on the football pitch. Ultimately, that's what I want. I want Man United to be successful. And when Man United are successful, you know what happens, don't you? You make money. And I think Man United need to concentrate on success, make business decisions. Risky decisions, absolutely. They're risky decisions, but we must make business decisions, and we must try and be successful again. Because the longer Man United are not successful, the further we're going to fall behind. Now, if Man United qualify for the Champions League next season, that brings a whole load of commercial deals, loads of money coming in, 100 million for the Champions League, commercial deals. That's not including the commercial deals, as I said. All these things, you're going to get TV deals, stuff like that. That is going to be brilliant for Man United, attracting the top talent, and that's what I'm going to say. Man United need to concentrate on getting that top 4, and we need to stop the monopoly of Chelsea and Liverpool and Man City qualifying for the Champions League, because the more they qualify for the Champions League, the more they're going to get 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, and they're going to just fall further behind. They're going to get further ahead of us, and we're going to fall further behind. We need to really, really, obviously, think about qualifying for the Champions League first, how Man United can qualify for the Champions League, and then worry about the financial things afterwards. It's what Chelsea do. At the end of the day, you have to take risks. Prove yourself to us, Jim Ratcliffe. Prove yourself you want to be successful on the pitch. Show me that you want to be. Take risks. I only want success for Man United. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to, I don't want to be thinking about regeneration projects and things like that, which we already know that you're very, very interested in. I want us to be successful on the pitch. Benny, is Onana fit for the start of the season? I think he's going to play. I got this feeling he's going to play. I think Onana, obviously there was rumors about Man United making a friendly game during this week, of course. How true that is, I don't know. But look, Man United will probably make a friendly game to get his fitness up, of course. Don't need much fitness to be a goalkeeper, but, sharpness and stuff like that, of course. Colours are, what's that? Kofas are empty. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how you can call yourself Avram. Big up, Marky Mark. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the super chat again. Your generosity has no bounds, my friend. Really appreciate your super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you so much, my friend. You absolute legend, guys. Big things coming for this channel, as I said many times. But thank you, my friend. Morning, Sal, and the community. How are you, my friend? Very well. I hope you're doing well as well, my guy. Yes, let's go and get Baleba, but I feel we cannot ignore the keeper. It is a bit like a piece of meat stuck in between your teeth, right? And you can't get it out. That is what the goalkeeper position is right now. We have this great opportunity to sign Baleba. We're excited. We got Mbuma, we got Cunha, we're going to have Baleba, we got Sesko. But then you think about the goalkeeper and you get this overriding feel of anxiety, and you feel like, oh, we're not gonna fix the goalkeeper position, and why are we not gonna fix the goal? And you think like, oh, hopefully we can be more attacking, hopefully this. But as I point out, in football, you could be playing the best football ever, right? Man United have dominated the game, but we only scored 1 goal. You're not going to win every game 3 or 4-0. We only scored 1 goal. We're 1-0 up. Free kick comes in, right? Onana comes to catch the ball. He slips the ball out of his hand. Equaliser 1-1. And we lose 2 points. That is what a goalkeeper can do. It doesn't matter how good your team is. Man United, even in our heyday in 98, 99, did not win games 5-0 every game. We squeezed some games, guys. We squeezed some games there. We beat, obviously, I remember Charlton Athletic scoring in the 90th minute. Dwight York in the 90th minute. I remember that. You know, if we had a poor goalkeeper, who knows? That might have been 1-1. Or we might even lost. Who knows? You know what I mean? These sort of things happen. You know, these sort of things happen. You know, with the goalkeeper situation, you need a good goalkeeper. You need a competent goalkeeper. As when Schmeichel left all those years ago, we know how long it took us to replace Schmeichel, did we? Guys, absolutely. Zizou, good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Big up Marky Mark again for that super chat. Really appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to support the channel. Thank you so much. Like Marky Mark is absolute legend. Thank you. Good morning, bro. Hope this season will be good, as Amorim himself said this. Look, I got a good feeling. Regardless, whatever, after everything being said, I've always said, and I've stayed consistent with this, I got a feeling that Man United will have a good season next season. I got a feeling Man United will have a good season next season. I know that it's hard to believe at the moment and stuff, where we came last season, etc., etc. But I honestly think that Man United will have a decent season next season, guys. I really do. I really do. Absolutely. Good morning. Amorim used Amorim used a slow centre back in Cortez, and it worked. They won the league latest year. They got rid of years. He got rid of him. Yeah, that's what they did. Revert 7. They got a quicker defender. This is one thing I'm thinking about, because I've heard about this a couple of times about how he rotated his defense. He weren't quite happy with the defense. This is why you got to back Ruben Amorim, because he knows what he's doing. He's did it before. He knows what he's doing, right? He built an absolute machine at Sporting Lisbon. And I'm not just talking about the Portuguese league and stuff like that. He built an absolute machine that competed in the Champions League competitively, beating Manchester City 4-1. He built a team. So we have to beat him. We have to back him to the bone. Take the risk. Back him, even if it costs us a lot of money. Get the players in. And then, you know what? We have more of a chance, and you're going to see Ruben Amorim ball. You absolutely are. Absolutely. And when you see Ruben Amorim ball, guys, you're going to see all the teams around the Premier League absolutely baffed. They're not going to know what hit them. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal. Good morning, Revert 7. Good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you. Absolutely. Tybor, this Coca-Cola deal shocks me a bit after the season we've had. 15th in the league, European football, no European football, and still managed to do deals with the most famous companies around the world. Absolutely, Tybor, because we are the biggest club in the world, one of the biggest, top 3 in the world, still to this day. Even if we come 15th, we can still attract big companies. This is why I was talking about, if Man United had no debt, if the Glazers were not here, right, Man United would be an absolute machine, an unstoppable force. And this is the thing. Some part of me feels like the Glazers have been paid by the government to stay at Man United, so that, Man United don't become dominant again. Because if our fan base reaches nearly 1 billion in the whole world, guys, we make up a big, huge percentage of the world as Man United. Man United are huge. Man United are huge, guys. And they're bigger than any team in the Premier League, by far, guys. As I've always banged on about, Man United, I've been around the world. I've seen Man United shirts everywhere, wherever I've been, whether it's Cuba, whether it's Italy, whether it's Japan. I've seen Man United shirts everywhere I've gone. I haven't seen Chelsea. I haven't seen Man City. I hardly seen an Arsenal. Since I've been in Abu Dhabi, I've lived here 3 years, guys. I've probably seen 3 Arsenal tops in the whole time I've been here. And that was from expats, from people from the UK. But I've seen Man United tops. Believe you me, absolutely. Big up Amorim. 7. Amorim's slow centre-back will be Delict and Maguire. Absolutely, mate. Like Cortez, absolutely. But I think they're going to sign another one, I think, eventually. Baleba and Wharton in midfield will get us top 2. Absolutely, Revert 7. Baleba and midfield. You can already feel it, Revert 7, isn't it? Baleba and Wharton in that midfield would absolutely revolutionize Man United. It would be an absolute game changer. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Ruben Amorim loves Bruno too much. It risks Bruno being stifled at the team, and I don't think he wants that. I think he wants to keep Bruno in that team, of course, as much as we don't, of course, in the midfield. Top 2, absolutely. Big up, Revert 7. Chadingo, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Goalkeeper is not sure we'll be sticking with Onana this season. Maybe next season we'll get a new goalkeeper, but anything is possible in football. Anything is possible in Chadingo in the football. Heaton might start this season. You never know. I actually agree with Chandinga here. I don't think Man United will do the goalkeeper move, but you never know what happens in football. Football can change week by week, day by day, week by week, of course, month by month. I think that Man United will do that next season. As long as we can get that midfield sorted out and we can get the midfield in some kind of consistency in regards to the midfield, because we are chopping and changing all the time. If someone came out, gun to head, said to you right now, pick Man United's best team, right? Last season, you would not have a clue. You would not have a clue. Now, I know what Man United's best teams were in the 90s. I know what the best team was in 1994. Paul Parker, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, Dennis Irwin, Brian Robson, Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Andrei Kanchelskis, Mark Hughes, Eric Cantona. I know what Man United's best team was, even in 1999. Gary Neville, Ronnie Johnson, Jaap Stam, Dennis Irwin, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Dwight York, Andy Cole, with Sheringham, Solskjaer on the bench, guys. And this is what rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Rolls off the tongue. Nowadays, you can ask any Man United fan, guys, what's the best Man United team right now? What is the best Man United team? And you wouldn't have a clue, would you? Guys, absolutely. Big up, Chandigo. Good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you. Anisu, good morning. Ilicha, Fita, that's profile. He fits that profile, absolutely. I think Licha Martinez is incredibly important, and also to Man United, of course. I think once he's back, I think he's going to be back in September, mid-September, around that time, of course, which will be important for Man United. He's an incredibly important player for Man United. And not only that, he does give the opportunity for players like Aiden Heaven, players like Euro, to be nurtured into that team a little bit better, because obviously we're putting a lot of pressure on Aiden Heaven. And as we saw against the game against Fiorentina, he picked up an injury. Hopefully it's not serious, but he picked up an injury. And obviously that's a little bit worrying, of course, because he's young and he's already had a couple of injuries already in his short career at Man United, So we have to look after these young players. We can't put too much pressure on these young players, guys. We really can't. Revert 7. United need to go in first with Baleba this summer, Water maybe next summer. Hopefully, absolutely. I do think Man United can build an animal. I think Man United can build a beast under Ruben Amorim. But it does all depend on next season. It does all depend on next season. What happens next season? I personally feel, and I've got a little bit of a feeling that Ineos are putting all their eggs in this summer. And I feel like they're really hoping that Man United move forward. The way that Jim Ratcliffe was speaking about we need to move forward now. We're going to back Ruben Amorim. We need to move forward. For me, they haven't backed him 100% yet. Yeah, they got Mbeumo. Yeah, they got Cunha. Yeah, they got Sesko. That's only 3 players, guys. That's not going to make a whole load of difference. Man United, look, Liverpool spent 400 million. Man City has spent nearly 500 million since January. Man United have only spent 200 odd million. Man United need to spend more. They need to spend more. We haven't ever spent anywhere near what we should be spending, considering that we came 15th last season. I keep saying it, 15th last season, and lost the Europa League final, of course. But obviously, news about Baleba, of course, Brighton and Hove Albion has stated that the evaluation of Baleba was slightly exaggerated, and the price of Baleba could be significantly less, slightly less than initially envisioned. Man United, as I've said on this show, could be doing a deal for Baleba for about 85 million plus 10 to 50 million incentives, which for me is a very good deal, guys. A very good deal. It will be going over 100 million with incentives, of course, but the initial fee will be 85 million, of course. Absolutely. Sal, when you were doing a match preview later on today, Natty, I'll be doing a match preview Man United against Arsenal tonight, guys. 4 p.m. UK time, I'll be doing it. Absolutely. 5 p.m. European time, of course, and 7 p.m. Middle Eastern time if you're in the Middle East. Absolutely, that's what I'll be doing. Absolutely, join me for that, guys. Join me for the match preview, the first match preview of the season, new look match preview, of course. I'll be doing a straight match preview. It won't be Chatterboxer, it'll be the match preview show, of course, and hopefully we'll be bringing you reaction to Ruben Amorim's presser as well, coming up very soon when he's got the presser and stuff like that. Of course, Revet 7. LVG sacked off a number of players that make me think if MK Don's defeat. You know what I would say, Revet 7? I was speaking about the Marcus Rashford interview yesterday, and he made some very good points. And I have to be fair to Marcus Rashford here. I think the interview was very good, and I think he spoke a lot of facts because he has lived through a lot of managers at the end of the day. He did speak about Louis van Gaal and said Louis van Gaal wasn't primarily concentrated on winning. It was more primarily concentrated on playing good football. as opposed to Jose Mourinho, who was only concentrating winning by hook or by crook, which I think is more important. Win the game, that's all that matters. Alex Ferguson didn't always play pretty football, especially in the last stages of his career at Man United. We didn't always play pretty football. Win at all cost. Now, that was very, very, very telling, of course. That was very telling what he said about Louis van Gaal, of course. And, you know, one thing he did say, though, which resonated with me, he said Manchester United have no plan. Have no plan. For whatever reason that was. It's the Glazers, it's Ineos, it's Murta and Woodward, whatever it is, guys. Man United never had a plan. For example, they never stuck by a project. And exactly. All those Rashford FC haters out there, all those Rashford FC guys out there, should I say, lover boys out there, lover girls and lover boys out there. He's just basically said what we said. No consistency, no plan, ill patience. No patience. You know, and no patience in the plan. And exactly what we've been trying to point at. Stop sacking managers. Stop, you know, be a little bit patient. Be patient. It is a big work to be done at Man United at the moment. Be patient. You know, and this is what we've been saying for ages, of course. Scott, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Baleba now and Water next season when Bruno comes to Casemiro gone. Scott, one thing I want to say, and I think it's a godsend, right? One thing I want to see, should I say, I want to see Wharton and Baleba in midfield. I really do, guys. When I think about that, I don't know about you guys, but I get very, very excited when I think about that. Wharton and Baleba in midfield. I get this overwhelming sense of excitement. I mean, I can't help myself. Vilsey, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Good to see you. If we don't get a new goalkeeper, all of this is nonsense. If we don't get a new goalkeeper, I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't say all of it is nonsense in regards to we don't get a new goalkeeper. I do think, however, that it will be a big gaping hole in our team that would need fixing. I think we need a goalkeeper. I don't think Bayinder's even good enough. I'm looking at, I don't know what happened with Vitek. Of course, there was rumours about him not getting on with Ruben Amorim and stuff like that, which is a little bit of an issue. I would have played him, to be honest, and gave him a chance. Selling Lamens is one of the goalkeepers that Man United could quite possibly go for. It does look like Donnarumma might be going to Man City, although that's not set in stone because Man City need to wait until Ederson goes to Galatasaray, who are the only team in for him at the moment. And obviously they got James Trafford. So they're not going to buy Donnarumma if they got those goalkeepers. All those goalkeepers are technically number ones, isn't it? So I would say that, yeah, it depends on what happens with Donnarumma. If it's not Donnarumma, I would have went for Selling Lamens, but I don't think we're going to do it this summer. Jelly in goal with Onana. Onana's not a good goalkeeper. It's as simple as that. He's too big up at the top. He's too big. He's got too much muscle. He doesn't get down quick enough. He doesn't get off his line. He's static in the goal. Doesn't come for crosses. You know, makes mistakes. Hesitant on the ball. Can't pass out from the back. He's very hesitant. He passed side to side. I mean, and we bought him for being a ball-playing goalkeeper as well, didn't we? We bought him to be this revolutionary new goalkeeper, and it's not work, unfortunately. And as I said, pound for pound, statistically, factually, Onana is the worst goalkeeper in Premier League history for Man United. The worst. Pound for pound, giving appearances, giving goals leading to mistakes leading to goals, giving passing accuracy, giving matches lost, matches lost. He's the worst goalkeeper in Man United's history. Probably. Mazraoui can play our right wing back, and we need another one. Randy, Mazraoui is a little bit slow when it comes to right wing back. Let me tell you something about the right wing back, guys. Right wing back is not right full back. Mazraoui is a full back. Mazraoui is not a right wing back. Mazraoui is not good at getting forward and getting that ball crossed into the box. That is what a right wing back should do. If you ever watch Paul Parker, if you ever watch Gary Neville, that is a right wing back. Get in the forward. Even though they play full back, they got forward. They got that crossing. Mazraoui is too slow to play right wing back, in my opinion. He's determined. He's strong. I think he's more of a centre back than a right back, in my opinion. A right wing back is a Frimpong. A right wing back is a Van Dersen. If you've ever seen Carfu play, he's the epitome of what a right wing back should be. That is a right wing back. Someone who can quick like a winger, but can defend as well. Absolutely. Tyborg, big up Tyborg. Don't want to praise them too much, but without Ineos and the structure they would have built, we wouldn't be in this position. Seems like there is no plan. There is a plan, but what we want to do, football matters again. Hopefully, it's not noise. We've only signed 3 players, Tyborg. Let's say that. We've only signed 3 players. A lot of things is all hearsay and noise, and nothing has happened 100%. This would have happened under Qatar. Qatar probably would have done better. They would have probably brought in more players. Man United would have been completely different. And this is what I say. I'm not going to praise them. I'm not going to praise them because they're doing what they should be doing. They facilitate the Glazers. They kept the Glazers. They slept with the Glazers, whatever they did. And that will remain with me forever. They sacked a load of people. That will remain with me forever. 2 people I knew. And this will remain with me. I will never flip-flop from that. Until they prove to me they can build a successful Man United like Qatar would have done, like Qatar had done with PSG, then I'm going to start saying, well, they've done okay. At the moment, I'm like, well, we've only signed 3 players. I'm like this. Liverpool has spent 400-500 million. Man City has spent 400-500 million since January. I'm like, Liverpool, Chelsea has spent more. We've only spent 200 million. We need to spend a lot more money. They need to dig further into their pockets because at the moment, we need a goalkeeper, we need a midfielder, and regardless how we look at it, we haven't got a goalkeeper. We're late in this transfer window as well. Late. We took 50 days with Mbeumo. What is going on? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I would say that if they get Baleba, content. No praise too much. No praise too much. I'm just content with it. Big up, Tybo. Miles, good morning, Sal. Hope you're well. Been busy working. It's good to see you, Miles. Hope you're doing well, of course. Good to see you back on the best channel. Thank you so much, Sal. Goals could save us, but we need a keeper. I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. Good to see you again, Miles, my friend. Good to see you, of course, again in the stream. Revert 7, we need a goalie as well. What are the chances before the window closes? Very small. I would say about 30%, Revert 7. I'm not saying it's in the realms of impossibility, but at the moment, Man United have got all their eggs in one basket. And this is what I'm talking about, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. Full sale, this and that. Man United would have been able to absolutely smash it. You want Donnarumma? Let's get Donnarumma. You want Mbeumo? Let's get Mbeumo. Pay the money. Who else you want? Baleba? Let's pay the money. Let's get Baleba. It would have been like that. Unfortunately, Man United can't do that. With this ownership, we can't do that. With this part ownership, I say we can't do that, of course. And too many chefs in the kitchen. Benny, I just hope that another club isn't waiting in the wings and see United's. I mean, look, Benny, you make a good point there because at the end of the day, these things can happen. If you snooze, you lose. You take too much time, someone's going to be waiting in the wings to be grabbing the player that you want. We all know that. It's happened to Man United with Quenda already, obviously, this last couple of months. So we know that we have to move quickly. We know that we have to get this signing in now because if we don't, someone buy for sure. You bet your bottom dollar will go for that player. Absolutely. Sanjay, Dunga was a good number 8, but he played more like a number 6. Dunga was fantastic number 8. World Cup winner, of course. Brazil, absolutely fantastic player. I mean, underrated. Not many people mention Dunga. Funny you should mention that, Sanjay. Dunga is a proper player. No, I mean, when Dunga was playing, I mean, he went under the radar a little bit because he was more like the water carrier. You remember Didier Deschamps, he used to play for France and Chelsea and Juventus and stuff like that. He was known as the water carrier by Eric Cantona, of course. Dunga was Brazil's water carrier, but Dunga had more strings to his bow. He could score goals. He could bring that he could bring that ball forward. And you make a good point, a good comparison there. Because Dunga was a bit like Baleba. He was in a way. He was a bit like Baleba. An absolute game changer in a way that he played the ball. And because Brazil was so attacking there, and obviously they're fantastic players all around the pitch, you know, he was needed. He was the most important. He's a Roy Keane sort of player. You know, he was a proper player. We lack that sort of players these days. We don't have that sort of player these days. I mean, you'd be hard fetched to find, like finding gold to find a player like that these days. Randy, the best way to defend is attack, and that's what Amorim is going to do in Onana. Won't be an issue. Randy, won't be an issue means that you're absolutely naive, Randy. If you think the goalkeeper is not an issue, then I don't think your head is screwed on, mate. I'm sorry. It is an issue. We cope with it. We're content with it. That's fine. But it is an issue. The goalkeeper is an issue. If you don't think a goalkeeper is an important position, you haven't been watching Man United very long, my friend. You haven't been watching Man United very long. You haven't seen Schmeichel play. If you don't think a goalkeeper is the most important player, tell me who kept Man United in the Champions League final. If you don't think a goalkeeper is very as important, because we were very attacking in 98, 99. We were very attacking. Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Dwight York, Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Paul. You know, we had a great team in 98, 99. But who saved us many times? Peter Schmeichel. You need a goalkeeper, in particular, if you play attacking, because there are good teams out there. So when you play attacking, they're going to counterattack you. I don't know why I need to tell you that, Randy. You know, it's very important. Is Onana even fit, Sal? Wishful think Onana having a good game. None of us trust him. I hope, Benny, he has a good game. Ultimately, that's all I care about at the end of the day. Absolutely. I mean, goodness me. You must be on that someone who thinks, well, I mean, I'm shocked that Onana is, you know, we're even Talking about it, we don't need a goalkeeper. It's not a problem. It's mad. Mainly based on what? Mainly based on his first season. Mainly based on analysing football properly, Stevie 77. Analysing what a good player is. Working in football. Knowing that he's a potential. Playing for England at a young age and stuff like that. Balance. When you play a player like Mainu and a player like Bruno, there's no balance. There's too much space. Both of them would be good. They would feed off each other, in my opinion. All right? Big season for Mainu this season, by the way, Stevie. However, I would say that. Big season for him. Randy, Onana is our player and we must stop slagging him off. It's not slagging off. Stop being a snowflake, Randy. Stop being an absolute prat, mate. We're not slagging Onana off. We're talking about what Man United need in this football team. It's not slagging Onana off. We're not dissing him. We've already said he's a good character. He's a good person and this and that. He's not good enough as a footballer for Man United. We're talking about what we need as a football team. If you don't like that, mate, go to another channel, fella. You know what I mean? Stop talking like, oh, I love the goalkeeper. Am I going to play FC rubbish? We're talking about football, mate. You know what I mean? You obviously don't really know much about it. Natty, smash the likes and subscribe. Big up, Natty. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Absolutely. Shivram, any recent updates on Baleba? Yeah, just been mentioning it. Big up. And big up, Albie. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, my friend. When United are successful, money will flow. Exactly. Invest to earn, isn't it? Invest for profit. At the end of the day, when you invest, you have to invest to make money. Sometimes you have to spend to make money. You have to. Absolutely. Big up, Albie. Big up, my friend. Hope you're well, of course. Sal, we have to score the first goal against Arsenal. I agree with that. Absolutely. Definitely. Absolutely. Morning, Gemini. How you doing? Have a more solid midfield reduces the number of shots and goal. At the moment, we have Bruno and Casemiro and Ugarte. We have no place of position. Run through on goal. I think it's not just that. I think it's the goalkeeper as well. He makes mistakes and he creates anxiety. Sal, morning, brother. How you doing, brother? 200 just 51 likes. So please, everyone, come on, guys. Can we get to 100 likes today? Can we get to 100 likes? Let's hope so. Big up, Gray, you legend, of course. Natty. So, in my opinion, we have to keep Højlund. We do not have that. We will have an injury. Unfortunately, Natty, I don't think that Rasmus Højlund's going to want to sit on the bench because obviously it's World Cup year this year. It's World Cup year. And to be honest with you, I think he's going to want to play in the World Cup. I think he goes to AC Milan. I think it'd be a great move for him. If Rasmus Højlund goes to AC Milan, scores a number of goals, who knows? He might come back. You never know, guys. He might revolutionize his career, rejuvenate himself. Absolutely. I don't think any of us don't trust Randy. And I don't think Ruben wants Onana, mate. My sources are telling me he wants a new goalkeeper, but he's trying to keep him sweet at the moment because he have no choice. Revert 7, this season, I think United want to score loads of goals, and I think we get 44. I think, mate, that was disgraceful, exactly. I think that Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko, look, I'm going to put myself out on a limb here. Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko will score over 40 goals next season. Over 40 goals next season, absolutely. Big up, Kevin. What's going on, my friend? I hope we get him in Manchester United, bro. Come on, mate. Let's hope so. Time is ticking, guys. We're on the 14th of August, guys. Time is ticking, of course. We can only hope and pray, can't we? At the end of the day, Mark, big up. We were having 60 shots on goal, 50% of the games last year. That amount of shots for many because we went to face no matter what team we play for. Statistically, goals leading to mistakes is what we're looking at. Not about goals against. Goals leading to mistakes. Onana has made more goals leading to mistakes than any other goalkeeper in our history. That's it. He's not reliable. He's indecisive. Can't come out for crosses. Another thing, can't come out for crosses. Is that to do with the midfield as well and stuff like that? It's not, is it? Can't come out for crosses. Not domineering. Makes mistakes. Makes bozo moments. Lets things slip through his hands. That's nothing to do with the midfield. Mistakes are a goalkeeper thing. David De Gea saved us a number of times. David De Gea. He saved us up team amounts of times. How many times did David De Gea save us? Even though we had a gaping hole in our midfield. Even worse than now. Absolutely. We will get a right wing back before a goalkeeper. Relax, guys, and stop this Onana worry thing. Randy, who's your source? Trust me, bruv, we're not going to get a right wing back before. We're going to get a goalkeeper next season. And at the end of the day, we talk how we want on this channel, Randy. This is how we do. We debate, mate. We debate. At the end of the day, if you can't take a debate and you have a low ball knowledge, it's not my fault, mate. Man United transfer pool still exists. Absolutely, Kenny. Big up. Randy, stop pissing me off. You'll get blocked, mate, as well. And Kenny, I hope Amorim shut these haters up. I really do hope so as well, mate. Big up, my friend Kenny. Good to see you again. Natty, Sal, this is Manchester United. We are talking about absolutely, guys. Shall I bring this into the stream? Do you think it's that time again? Shall I do it? I think I will, guys.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
Absolutely. Big up, guys. He is crappy, Obo. I mean, don't look at Inter Milan the way they played. Look at the way they played. And let me tell you something about Inter Milan. I'm very close to football. They were so quick to sell Onana. Obo, why were they so quick to sell Onana? They didn't negotiate. Nothing. Gone. Don't want to know. Go. You remember the game against Ajax? Let's think about this. Do you remember when Man United played Ajax in the Europa League final with Jose Mourinho? Look at the first goal. Static. Can't get off his line, went over his head. They just hope. But we're just discussing it. That is what this channel's about. Discussing, having a debate. It's not hating. It's no agenda. You know, absolutely. No one comes on here and tells us, how are we talking this channel, guys? Absolutely not. Big up, Saviour. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, sir. Just waiting to see what happens before the window closes. But a midfielder and a goalkeeper is needed, and we are waiting for that to happen. Manu, Cacholo, my friend, big up. Manu to the world. Cacholo, remember that. Big up, Saviour. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, of course. Also saw some quotes. Yeah, big up, my friend. We as fans already know this. Rashford should just focus on his own career. Absolutely. In fairness to Rashford, he said everything we as fans have said for 10 years. Yeah, we know. I know that exactly. How about some accountability? I mean, Rashford never take accountability to his own actions. That's what I'm talking about. He has smoke blown up his backside every single day for his agents or his family, stuff like that. So I don't think, I don't think he should be talking. I think he's the wrong person to be talking. Of course, I believe that. He's the wrong person to be talking, of course. Future Eyes, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Should keep Rasmus and sign Baleba. It's up to Rasmus, though, isn't it, my friend, Future Eyes? Because obviously Rasmus wants to play in the World Cup, doesn't he? Lee, Baleba Ugarte will special menu no engine. Big up, my friend. Big up. Come on, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I'm not saying sir. I mean, doubtful fans. You dusted wallet. Come on, Sir Jim. Don't call anyone sir. There's only one God. Big up Coca-Cola sponsoring Baleba. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you hear a lot more about Coca-Cola coming up this next few days. Of course, Man United need investment. They need investment. It's a good thing that Man United is so attractive still, isn't it? That they can still get investment, of course, guys. Absolutely. Hey, big up Jamie. What's going on? The legend, Jamie. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. That Coca-Cola sponsorship money coming in, guys. Come on, guys. How you doing, Jamie? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course, guys. Absolutely. Soldier Rocks, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Guys, has anyone seen Joe Blackman? Has anyone seen Joe Blackman? Can someone give a search party for Joe Blackman? I haven't seen him for ages. What's going on? I haven't seen him. Guys, I haven't seen Joe Blackman. Morning all. Morning all. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Coco, loved the Nana when he came in, but 100% Sal. That dude is done at United. The damage is too deep. Only way. I mean, people are forgetting about the damage he's done at Man United, how much it's cost at Man United. I'm going to support him. Of course, we're going to bloody support him. What do you think we're going to do? We're not going to throw him into the sharks, are we? People saying, I'm going to support him no matter what. What? So we can't criticize? Are you a snowflake? I'm not talking about you, Coco. I'm talking about others in this. Look, guys, we have to talk about what is wrong with Man United. This is how we do to improve. Accountability. That's what we talk about. Nana doesn't take it. He doesn't take accountability like Rashford doesn't take accountability. It needs to be talked about birds and the bees. Without that, you cannot improve. Big up, Coco. Very good comment, my friend. The dude is done at United. The damage is deep. Only way back a Maguire redemption type arc. Has he got redemption? I think Maguire's only got redemption because of his goals, isn't it? Yes, of course I will. Absolutely, Soldier Rocks. Let me go.
Do you know Tottenham?
What?
Tottenham Hotspur?
Topspur?
No.
What's that?
you never heard of them?
No?
That is a classic. It's one of the greatest things you'll ever see, isn't it? Absolutely. Dinner Lady Rashford. Big up. Yeah, guys, look, at the end of the day, this is what we do in this channel. It's a debate. We talk about things. If we don't talk about things, we have to talk about good and bad. Otherwise, we should I might as well sit here with a bunch of Teletubbies and start talking about I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a big hug and a kiss of me to you. That is what you want, isn't it? At the end of the day, we need to talk. You need to be ruthless to be successful. These birds and the bees, happy flowers, unicorns, don't work, guys. You won't be successful. You have to be a little bit ruthless. You have to talk about the birds and the bees, guys, in a serious light, guys. That's what you have to do if you want improvement. That's life at the end of the day. Absolutely. One of the best, absolutely. Big up, Natty. Thank you so much, my guy. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today. Guys, you absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back later on for Chatterboxer. Nothing else breaks. Don't forget to smash a like. I've had nearly 300 people in the house. I should, in theory, have 300 likes, right? Right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate all of you. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to put your notifications on. And also, guys, you know what? Don't forget, I will be back later on for Chatterbox, guys. So, guys, join me there. And I'll see you then. And hopefully we get some good news. Could be. I'm getting news all the time. But, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. And I'll see you later on. Take it easy. Don't worry. Peace.